Did we have a good time? We don't need any more. By the way, I brought tissues. There is no way I'm getting through this with dry eyes. And I commented in Salt Lake City how sad it is for me that I'm always the one that has to say goodbye. And I was thinking to myself, why am I always the one that has to say goodbye? Because it's not my conference. I didn't do much of the work, to be honest. There's a bunch of people, and I think that this conference has grown over the years more and more every year. We're a team, and so I think it's fitting that this year, as we wrap up this conference, the team stand together as we say goodbye. And so I'm going to ask that Lena, Dawn, Sean Carroll, Todd Rinaldo, Dave Jacoby, Jeff Avery, Doran Barton, Autumn Hickmott, and Jim Brandt please come up and join me today. We have a lot of people to thank, and I don't want to put everybody to sleep. So I'm going to try to cruise through this as quickly as possible. But it's important to me to thank everybody that's involved in this conference, and I think it's only fitting to start with Larry and Gloria. I don't know how many conferences it has been now that I have run that you two have been able to come to. But you are always wonderful people to work with, humble heroes to me, honestly. And I want to thank you both for giving us Perl, but also for giving us leadership and example on how to be the community that we are. So thank you very much. We had two keynotes this week. Casey Watts has already headed home, but Jeff Goff is here, and thank you for both the keynote speakers for providing that for us. For people that put in some extra effort to put in either half-day or full-day tutorials, Gene Hack with interactive Git rebase, Jeff Goff with Practical Perl 6. Dave Rolski will be teaching on Thursday and Friday with Intro to Go and Intro to Moose. And Sawyer will be teaching Programming the Web with Dancer on Thursday. So thank you for putting all the work into providing those classes for us. I'll also mention that there are spaces available in those classes as well, so if anybody is interested, you can still sign up. If you, at this conference, organized a BOF, ran an activity, gave a talk, would you please stand up right now? All in all, these people provided at this event 102 different sessions for us to all participate in. And we wouldn't have had a conference without their work and effort. So thank you very much. Thank you. I'll also remind speakers, please upload your slides to Sketch. And for everybody, as Gene Hack was saying earlier, please go on and provide ratings for all the sessions that you attended. If you ran a video camera, moderated a room, acted as a runner, would you please stand up? Whether you gave 2 hours or 16 hours or you just didn't stop, thank you so much. Again, there's no way that the people up here could have done it all without you volunteers. So thank you very much. And yeah,
I'm especially thankful.
you know, and I can tell that there are some of you out there that are like, oh darn, I didn't get a chance to volunteer. But never fear. There is still one opportunity left. Because as soon as this closing is over, we have the exciting job of tearing down this room. And if the people up here are the ones doing that, we'll get out of here like 4 or 5 hours from now. But if you all help, we could get out of here in a half an hour. So anybody that would be willing to volunteer and hang around for a little bit and help us clean up this room and get everything taken down, we would sincerely appreciate that. That would mean so much to us. Some of you registered at the very beginning of the when we first opened sales for tickets for this event, and you paid the $99 rate, which to me was kind of special because that's how much it costs to go to the very first YAPC, and I really wanted to see, 20 years later, you could still go to the Perl conference for $99. So that excited me. Some of you waited until the last minute. And when I say the last minute, I mean the last minute. I can't tell you how many times we got like the entire badge list ready to print and then looked and said, oh wait, there's one more. Those of you that waited paid almost $400 for your ticket. We appreciate your support. Here's the thing. Even if every person in the room, every speaker, every attendee, every volunteer, even if every person in the room had paid $400 per person to attend this conference, we wouldn't have enough money to pay for it. This conference doesn't happen without the loving support of our sponsors. And so what I'm going to ask is, as I call off these sponsors, if there are anybody in the room that's a representative from that company, please stand up. First off, platinum sponsor, cPanel. Bronze sponsors, Grant Street Group. And Bluehost. We had four event sponsors, Turnitin, Bayou Media, Perl Careers, and Geek Uni. I'm also going to give out a gratuitous plug for my employer, who has been infinitely patient with me in putting up with everything involved with me being a part of this conference. So I want to thank Pair Networks for supporting me through this past year, and also mention that we're hiring. I mentioned that some of you paid as much as $400 to come to this event, and that's not true completely because some of you paid even more. When we first announced tickets, we announced golden tickets, which was an opportunity for people to provide some extra support for this conference, and we had 6 people that purchased a golden ticket to attend this week. And the first one, how very fitting, was our own founder, Kevin Lenzo. And followed by Paul Grassi, Vadim Shechem, Theo Van Hasel, David Adler, and Brad Oakes. So thank you for those. Now, if at any point I failed to mention you and you're in this room, that doesn't make you any less, because this event is about the attendees. This event is about all of you. It's about the community. And this week, we had 159 people check in to attend the conference. And we appreciate all of you. So I want to thank all of you for being here this week. Another housekeeping item, I will mention that we have a few shirts left, a few of the yellow event shirts, and please take them home. They're free. We don't want to take them home, so please do. We are selling the duffel bags until they're gone, $25 a piece. And of course, we have the Perl 6 and Perl 5 patches. And so if you're unfamiliar with that, each patch costs $50 and goes towards supporting 1 hour of development in either Perl 5 or Perl 6 core language. So those are available for sale today as well. All right. This past December, I went through what I would describe as a bit of a family crisis. My life was turned upside down in a way that I had not predicted would happen. And it affected me in ways that I would have never guessed. And there was even a good bit of time that I completely fell off the radar because I was non-functional. And it was because of the people behind me that this conference happened. Because they dug in and picked up the slack and made it happen. And so I'm just going to go through and briefly thank each and every one of them. First, Lena. Lena didn't originally want to be a co-lead organizer this year, but she stepped up when I couldn't do it and picked up the slack and made it happen. And that's been her thing since as long as I've known you. You know, wherever we needed you, you were there for us. And, well, thank you. Dawn Wallace has been our communications team leader and also our accessibility team leader. And Dawn Wallace is like an infinite ball of energy. I've never seen her upset. I've always seen anything that he's done, she's enthusiastic about it. And she's done a wonderful job of doing communications in this past year. And let's face it, when it comes to like writing newsletters and getting the word out, that's something that we've always been not so good at in the past. But Dawn has done an amazing job of leading up that team and making that happen. So thank you very much, Dawn. Along with Dawn, we have Sean Carroll, who headed up all of our social media posts and getting everything out on a regular basis all the time. And I have to admit, like until this week, I hardly ever heard Sean speak. but he was at every meeting, but he was just like, you know. But it's been awesome working with you this year. It's been awesome. It's just spending this past week with you, and thank you very much for everything that you've done.
Thank you.
Todd's over there. Todd's been running our website for the past year. Todd's been another person that, you know, if it needs done, it doesn't matter if it's his job or not, he's going to help get it done. And of course, Todd has run YAPC in the past and has a lot of great ideas all the time. Sometimes annoyingly so, but still, I appreciate it all. I mean, even when we don't agree, I appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you very much. Dave Jacoby has been our graphics artist this year, coming up with all the themes and logos and designs that we need, and I'm the guy that annoys him at the last minute by saying, no, that's the wrong file format. I needed SVG right away. But Dave took care of all the logos, whether it be for the website, the shirts, the badges, everything. That's all from Dave, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thanks, Dave. Jeff Avery, you might think that that Jeff is just the lightning talk guy, but I can tell you, I think that there might have been like one, maybe two meetings the entire year that Jeff has missed. So even though you see him as the person that does the lightning talks, he's always there at the meetings. He's always helping out. He's always providing advice. I think the only time that we miss him is like when his Frisbee game goes long, right? Yeah. And then he comes on late and tells us who won. So thank you, Jeff, for everything that you do, not just the lightning talks, but all the support that you give to us. Thank you. Foz. There you are. You know what? In 2014 in Orlando, we had a video team that did all of our videos for us, and we paid them to do it. And I was really happy with how that worked out. And then we went to Salt Lake City in 2015, and we were like, okay, this team did a great job with our videos last time. We're going to use them again in Salt Lake in 2015. And then I hear like, oh, well, there's these guys in Salt Lake that know how to do video, and we're gonna try to give them a chance. And I'm like, oh God, how this is going to be bad, right? And so we ended up doing this hybrid where we had the paid team doing some rooms and Foz doing videos in other rooms, and it was like, oh my gosh, these guys know what they're doing and they're awesome. And not only are they awesome, they can anything you throw at them, they can handle it. And so Foz ran the team in 2015, and then again in 2016, in 2017, 2018, now here we are at 2019. And it's more than just the fact that Foz has been able to make this happen year after year after year. I mean, when was before 2015? Does anybody know of a time that YouTube videos got posted the day after a talk? But it's more than that. It's the thing that I love about you, Foz, is that you are a really good friend. I've appreciated coming to know you over these past few years. I've appreciated that you've always been there, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So, right after Orlando, I was thinking to myself, hey, this might be the right time for me to bow out. And then Karen Pauley beat me to the punch. And I was like, darn it, I didn't want to step away from TPF and have a brand new treasurer and brand new president at the same time. And so the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of working with Jim Brandt, our current president, and Jim has been an awesome leader for TPF. He really has. And the one thing I appreciate about Jim the most is that he doesn't feel like he has to get in and tell everybody what to do. Even when he's so strong, it's so obvious he strongly disagrees with me about how things should be done with the conference. He lets the conference's team do what they need to do, and he provides support for them. And so, Jim, thank you very much for your leadership these past 2 years. Thank you for everything you've done for TPF and everything you've done for me.
Thank you.
I saved the best for last, because I'm not the only person up here that's been doing conferences for 10 years. I've known Autumn since 2009. Our little girl Emily's in the back of the room right now. Autumn joined me to work on YAPC in 2009 when it's been in Pittsburgh. And since then, she's been with me all through the way, even when she couldn't make it to the conference. The reason I held it together is because she was standing beside me, holding me together. So, Autumn, this wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you. it is now time to pass on the torch. So I'm going to say a few quick things here. First of all, there is one of these banners sitting on a table in the upper foyer. I would sincerely appreciate it if on the way out you all take a moment and sign it for me so I can take it home as a souvenir of this conference. That would mean a lot to me. What's next for me? So, as you know, this is my last year as treasurer of TPF. This is my last year on the conferences team. I'm still going to be on the board of directors for another year because I'm going to be there in a support role for whoever the next treasurer is going to be. But I'll probably be completely in the background. And a big part of that is because this fall I'm going back to school for my MBA, and so I'm trying to invest a lot of time in that. I'm not completely done running events. I still plan on doing some smaller meetings and activities for some of the other organizations and groups that I'm active in. Friend me on FetLife if you want. I'm going to take the soapbox for just 1 minute, and I'm going to say this to everybody. As goes this conference, so goes Perl. I truly believe that because when this conference is strong, we know that the Perl community is strong. And as long as the Perl community is strong, there's no way that Perl can fail. So, my request to you, keep this conference strong, keep this conference going, and I'll look forward to coming back and seeing you all as an attendee. Now, to introduce who's going to lead us in keeping this strong and keeping it going, one of the co-lead organizers for the 2020 Perl Conference, Lena Hand.
I don't do presentations, so give me a second to get situated here. There we are. Dan's done a lot for us over the last 10 plus years, and we wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that. He started as a PPW organizer, did that for a couple years. Then he became a Perl conference organizer, and then the TPF treasurer. We're going to miss him in this community. So, Dan, we just wanted to say thank you for the countless hours you've devoted to the Perl conference and the Perl community over the last more than a decade.
Thank you.
Thank you. So looking at 2020,
Hold on.
yeah?
I don't want to let Ruth be the last word on this. And before you guys say anything, I've got slides. Hi, I'm Todd Ronaldo. I'm from Houston Pearlmongers. I want to talk to you guys about coming to Houston. We'd love to have you. We've got the Gulf of Mexico. We've got water slides. You can see giant life-size rockets indoors. No, they don't work. And if you get the special tour, you can find out how they did the moon landing. We've got beer. And we've got the Museum of Fine Arts, we've got the zoo, and we've got the Museum of Natural History all right next to each other. We've got Tex-Mex, real Tex-Mex. And most importantly, we're the we're the birthplace of Beyonce. So you can make a pilgrimage to where she was born. And we have indoor rain. So, the other reason you could come to Houston would be that in 2020, we're planning on doing TPC in Houston. So this is a tentative date. It's June 24th through 26th, which is actually going to be a Wednesday through Friday. We're going to try that out this time. I can't see my own slide deck. As Dan has said, many hands make light work. We can't do this without you. If you are interested in helping out, please contact us at admin@perlconference.us. We've also started up the website already, so you can take a look. And hopefully we'll see you next year. Thank you.
In case you couldn't tell, Todd's also going to be a lead organizer. Thank you all for a wonderful 2019. Safe travels home.